Hello, everyone. This is Luke again, and welcome to this new series of mine called Ninjago What Ifs. And this is not a new thing. These things have been for on YouTube for at least a couple of years now, and these are basically what ifs. Basically, what if a certain scenario happened instead of this? For example, what actually did happen. But just a reminder, some of these ideas that I have, some of these what if ideas, people have done before. So don't accuse me of saying I'm trying to steal their ideas, because I'm not. The idea is not theirs. It's not just because they made one doesn't automatically make it theirs. So that's very stupid logic to go by. But with that out of the way, we'll start with the first one. And I recently asked everyone, do you have any what if video ideas? And one kind of stood out to me in particular. And this was made by Lord Garmadon Studios YT. And this user has a channel, so I will link their channel in the description. So thank you for that what if. And this person's what if said, what if the Overlord won and Zane never came back? Very interesting question. So basically what this user is saying is, what if the Overlord won in Season 3? Or the Golden Master, I should say, because that's the other title that he has. So Zane dies, obviously. Zane's dead, permanently dead in this scenario. So there's no bringing him back. He doesn't rebuild himself. Pixel, this is where it gets a little hard. I don't really know what would happen to Pixel, because she might be either do something extremely drastic, like take herself apart, which is essentially robot suicide, which is very dark and tragic, or she could try and somehow cope with the loss, which, I don't know. I feel like Pixel didn't really cope with the loss all that well before it was revealed that Zane was alive all along. I don't think she coped with it all that well. But as for the ninja, obviously the ninja would be down one member. Duh. How would this affect the other seasons? Duh. Well, the tournament elements would be very hard, because the main sole reason for the ninja going to the tournament in the first place was to rescue Zane. And since Zane is dead, they basically have no motivation. It would essentially be kind of like an extended version of the invitation episode. Because they would essentially break apart again. That part wouldn't change, but I think it might have lasted a little bit longer, and maybe they just go their own separate ways, and I don't know if the tournament would actually happen, because, like I said, the whole motive for the ninja going was to save Zane. Plus, Zane was confirmed to be alive by Chen and his cultist members, as they wrote in that little note in the first episode of Season 4. So it would be a lot harder, if impossible, to do the tournament. So Season 4, I don't think would happen. Season 5 then would not happen. Season 6 would not happen. Season 7, I'd still think would happen. It's one of those seasons where you can't, it's very hard to, like, stop it from happening. Season 8, I still think would happen. Season 9, I still think would happen. Season 10 would still happen. The Ice Emperor would not be a thing. So, basically, the Fire Chapter would be the only installment of Season 11. Prime Empire would still happen. It would just be no Ninjago Confidential and no Detective Zane. And no Zane breakdowns and getting hacked and all that stuff. So, no Zane abuse. Thank God. Season 13 wouldn't really change, considering Zane wasn't really that super important in Season 13. The only real thing he really did was make that slug go faster, so that they could, like, convince the Geckos that they were right and they were wrong, I think. But I feel like Kai could easily replace him in that regard by just lighting the slug butt on fire or something, and slug, because their butts on fire, would go just go really fast. The island would not change, and Seaban I don't think would change all that much. So if Zane were to die, then pretty much the tournament possession and Skybound would not happen. Now, if the Overlord actually won, then basically all Ninjago would just be under pure chaos, and essentially there'd be almost nobody to stop him. Some people have said that not even the Oni could stop the Overlord, and I would see that. I could see both scenarios, honestly. I don't think Time Twins can beat the Golden Master. It would be very hard to do so. Maybe not a con, but like I said, seasons 4, 5, and 6 would not happen, so therefore they're out of the picture. Time Twins would be the closest attempt, and the Oni. Those two villains would be the closest attempt to beat the Overlord, but even then, it's kind of an iffy question. It's kind of iffy. And there's also Kalmar as well, but I think Kalmar would not win. Obviously, he'd lose easily. So basically, Ninjago would be under chaos. 3 seasons just would not happen, and basically, Ninjago's villains would have to fight to the death to see who is the ultimate villain of villains. Essentially, it would be contested via the Overlord or Golden Master, the Time Twins, the Oni, and Kalmar. Now, it's possible for all of these to win somehow, but I think the most likely bet is the Overlord would still win despite all that. I think Kalmar would be eliminated first, then Time Twins, then the Oni. So therefore, the Overlord controls everything, and essentially he rains darkness and destruction all over Ninjago. Now, you may be thinking, well, what about the first Spinjitzu Master? Isn't he the light to counteract the shadow? Yes, he very well could do something, but since he hasn't really showcased that before, we really don't know if he could do something. The Overlord might be just too powerful for the first Spinjitzu Master to handle. Because remember, in the original version, the Overlord was too powerful, and that first Spinjitzu Master had to divide Ninjago into 2. So I don't think it will be any different here. Where I think the first Spinjitzu Master, even if he tried to do something, it wouldn't really work. So I think essentially the Overlord conquers everyone, everything, and it's basically Overlord supremacy. I bet the 2 Overlords, Overlord X and Overlord 1469, are happy for me to say those words out loud. But anyways, what do you guys think of this what if scenario? What do you think would happen if the Overlord / Golden Master won in the season 3 finale and Zane died, never to return? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, check out the person who gave me this one, Lord Garmadon Studios. Thank you for suggesting this. Hopefully, you'll have another reappearance on this little series that I'm doing, or little other series that I'm doing. Sorry. But anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button, and click on the notification bell to see every video that I will upload. And I'll see all you folks in the next video. Bye-bye!